Hello, 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 and I am back. Well, this is going to be a record day today. I think I've already recorded 10 videos, one Facebook Live. This is my second Facebook Live. I've got a presentation tonight and then late night crypto talk. So this is one of those busy information days, a day where I call it an education a day where I learn. See, I am a very, very avid reader, and I love to investigate things. When I hear something, I never take it at face value. I always dig deeper to find out more of what's going on. And we're going to discuss that, and I promise this one will not be long since I already did a Facebook Live earlier today. And if you missed that, I encourage you to go back and listen to that Facebook Live because we talk about, is the sky falling? What's going on in the Bitcoin markets? Is FUD happening? Is it real? Should I be scared or afraid? And I said it's just a market correction. Also sparked by China and by the JP Morgan CEO, Jamie Dimon. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, Dimon or Damon. I see you, Adrian, Miss Trading Queen Adrian Griffin. But I want to talk about something new because it's really, literally, every 5 to 10 minutes a new article is popping up on my desk. And Jairus Coleman made a post reminding us that an article had came out already by Goldman Sachs. Yeah, I see you, Greg. But Jairus Coleman talked about Goldman Sachs came out with an article in August, so they made a prediction. They said based on their readings that they believe that the Bitcoin in the next couple of weeks was going to reach $4,800 to $5,000 mark. And then it would go into a market correction, and it might correct all the way down to $2,200 per coin, and then settle somewhere in the middle at about $4,100 per coin. They made that prediction, and it looks like we're in the middle of that right now. As of right now, the Bitcoin is at $3,400. It's gone up $200 in the last, 45 minutes. But last night it was at $3,800. And maybe a couple hours before that was at 4,100. So a couple of key things happened. News out of China on whether or not China is going to ban, they're going to say they want to ban ICOs and also either suspend, regulate, or limit the exchanges in China. Now, as far as trading goes, China does not account for the vast majority of the world's trading, but when something happens in one country like that, it impacts the others. What I want to focus on right now is what JP Morgan. You always got to follow the money. What are the rich white cats doing? Where are they putting their focus on? You see, Mark Cuban, back this summer, was running his mouth publicly against Bitcoin. And saying it was a bubble, saying it's like the housing market crash, saying it was a tulip. And because of him stating that, the market fluctuated off of him, his words. 30 days later, he turns around and does a 360 reversal and publicly states he's backing a $20 million venture in an ICO and that he's looking at all of his stock options and his investments to include Bitcoin. 360 reversal. He also did that when the price went down, so he was able to buy more Bitcoin. Market manipulation. Bill Gates has consistently said that Bitcoin can't be stopped. What did Jamie Dimon do? Jamie Dimon made a statement, and it went so far. You got to listen to my Facebook Live earlier. I don't want to go over that again. What he did, but it's classic market manipulation, and he got called out on it by Inc. magazine. Now, Inc. or Inc.com. Here's what Inc.com says. This just came out today. Jamie Dimon is afraid Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain tech will take his job. Venture capital was set ablaze by blockchain, tech, and crypto. Banking is next, and the people in charge are scared. Does this have any validity? Let's listen to this. According to the Department of Justice of the United States, JP Morgan pled guilty to conspiring to manipulate the price of the U.S. dollar. They also had to pay $13 billion to the government. I want to read that one more time. I want you to understand how things work here. According to the Department of Justice of the United States, J.P. Morgan pled guilty to conspiring to manipulate the price of the U.S. dollar. If they've done it once, do you not think they might do it again? In recent news, the J.P. Morgan CEO, Jamie Dimon, has publicly denounced Bitcoin as a fraud. Dimon's comments sent a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency holders into a bit of a temporary panic. What's playing out here is a classic David versus Goliath story with a lot of attention-seeking behavior from Dimon. For perspective, cryptocurrency ICOs, you're absolutely right, Jared. Scared money sold, smart money bought. I like that. But for perspective, cryptocurrency ICOs through Ethereum, which Dimon did not mention. Why didn't he mention Ethereum? He just mentioned Bitcoin. Have recently set the venture capital industry ablaze. Bitcoin, along other various cryptocurrencies and blockchain projects like Ripple, are now gunning for banking. Know this. Know that Bank of America has 22 patents out on Bitcoin or blockchain technology. Notice that. I've got any of my guys. Hassan is blowing me up here. Do I need to make them wait? I'll respond to him later. For further investigation, let me go back. Bitcoin is essentially an alternate way to store wealth. Bitcoin or a predecessor could one day entirely remove the need for banks. Banks understandably do not like it and are clearly not embracing it yet. Dimon is a CEO of one of the biggest banks in the world. So I'll let you draw your own conclusion if you think that creates a bias and self-fulfilling prophecy for him to trash the competition by calling it a fraud without explanation. Upon further investigation, I found out that J.P. Morgan itself had filed 175 times for a Bitcoin alternative patent. It did not get the patent. See, whenever you see somebody make a statement, you got to find out why. What's their motivation? How are they benefiting? Anybody in that space knows that anything that they say publicly will, can, and is assured to affect their stock market. So they're very careful about what they say publicly. So why is he saying this? So it is clearly interested in the technology. They're clearly interested in the technology. You can't have Bitcoin without the blockchain. So if you're a bank and you see blockchain or you see Bitcoin as a threat, what do? Create your own. And they were turned down 175 times. After Dimon's comments, Bitcoin prices dropped by over $600 at the time of this writing. He followed up his fraud statement by then saying that Bitcoin could still reach as high as $100,000. So on one hand, you call it a fraud and a scam, and the next hand you say it's going to get up to $100,000. So let's get this straight. J.P. Morgan pled guilty for manipulating the price of the U.S. dollar. Now he publicly trashes another currency, a digital currency, Bitcoin, that subsequently set the market down. Now it's starting to regain momentum back up due to the public starting to realize what's going on. And also said that it could reach as high as $100,000, which was only mentioned later by news sites and is helping it to go back up. Dimon having extreme bias would be a nice way to put it. Blockchain, which quite simply is a better consensus algorithm and ledger than banks currently have, has the banking industry scared. Clearly, if a big CEO needs to come out and try to bully it around, he is scared. In reality, it's a last-ditch attempt by the banking industry to try to stop cryptocurrency, which has grown by over $100 billion this year and has no end in sight. Another interesting fact, J.P. Morgan, which Jamie Dimon is the CEO of, is a public member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. It's like he's talking against himself. Ethereum has a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin called Ether, but more importantly has a platform to host decentralized apps It's essentially like the Microsoft operating system of the blockchain space, and one day could be as popular and widely used as Microsoft Windows or Apple's App Store. Are you kidding me? The platform allows developers to create decentralized apps. Ethereum, however, does not aim to take out banking necessarily. Ethereum is the second most valuable cryptocurrency in the world in terms of overall market cap. We'll see how this plays out from here. My guess is that this is the banking industry's last-ditch effort to stop something that could make them redundant. So in other words, for people that are claiming the sky is falling, number one, it's a market correction that had already been predicted. We already knew that was going to happen. And if you look at the history of Bitcoin, you see it happening over and over and over again. The long trail of things is that the market price of Bitcoin continues to rise. It goes down a bit, then it rises higher than before. That's what's taking place right now. You also have government entities like China and Russia that are also scared of their own constituents, their own citizens, using this technology because it is decentralized. If you are a communist nation, why in the world would you want your citizens to be able to have control of money that's not controlled by the government? At the same time, they need this technology so that they can get away from the US dollar and Washington control. So they're embracing it and regulating it at the same time. In one hand, Russia is creating the biggest mining farm of Ethereum in the world, where 30% of all Ethereum mining will take place out of Russia, but banning their citizens from doing any private mining. A Russian article just came out today where the finance minister said, you know, we may not be able to ban cryptocurrencies, but we're going to regulate it. China, they don't know what to do. They're shooting themselves in the foot if they shoot down cryptocurrency because they need it to get away from the US dollar. But they can't have an open rebellion of their people using cryptocurrencies to gain financial freedom and independence from the Chinese government because they're communists. You see the cat and mouse game that's being played here? And then when you look at the United States, you got to understand geopolitics, where the US dollar and the US banks is controlling the world. If the people do no longer need a bank, what does that mean for them? And if you're a bank and you know you can't stop Bitcoin, if you can't regulate it, create your own version of it. Be prepared for the Fed coin to come out. Be prepared for the collapse of the US dollar, and the savior is going to be the Fed coin. Because the United States is in no position to bail out banks and companies like it did in 2008. And go listen to Doug Casey. The storm is coming. Who is Doug Casey? One of the most foremost financial advisors and predictors for the last 30 to 40 years. He's already predicted this. And he's already stated the Fed coin is being worked on right now. Digital currency to take the place of fiat currency. There's not enough money or cash on hand to fulfill everybody's bank statements and accounts. The only way you can prevent a run on the bank is to freeze all the banks and transfer into a Fed coin. That's the only way. It's coming. The question is, are you prepared? I just wanted to share that information for those of you that are scared about the market right now. It's already gone up $200 since this morning, but it went down $600 as well. It's a market correction. It will go back up. Buy now, sell high, buy and hold. Bitcoin Brandon out. I will see you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on bitcoinbrandon.info. We're going to show you how to make money daily on your money. Let your money work for you. You don't have to recruit anybody. You don't have to do three-way calls. You don't have to do any convincing. It's your own money. Let your money work for you. This is investing. This is portfolio. Completely different mindset from network marketing. I see you, Adrian. I see you, Titan. If you guys came on late, go back to the beginning and also listen to the recording earlier, right, where I did another Facebook Live. Interesting, exciting times. But Bitcoin Brandon out. Take care. Bye-bye.